From a city that has hosted 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans. Tonight, it's a preseason matchup between the Houston Texans and the New Orleans Saints. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Right to the air is Willis. He gets this to Davante Adams. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
19 tight, 19 tight, 19 wide.
To the air on first down, here's Willis. Looking deep for Adams. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Third down, it's Willis. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Excellent defensive effort to get to him and provide a little contact before the catch could be made cleanly.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damian Harris. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got him pinned down deep. And on the first They give up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
And he's up past the 10 to about the 12.
It's a gain of 4. Makes it 3rd and 2.
On 3rd and 2, Richmond. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Here's Jamie Gillen now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Fielded at about the 28. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
At the Saints' 46-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Adams the man in motion right. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Howard. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it and got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
Speed is the name of the game when it comes to RPOs, and sometimes you can be a little too quick, thus inaccurate, incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They go play action with Willis. That is caught inside the 5. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That one goes for 30 yards.
Well, he's certainly trying to earn his way into some more looks in the offense once the regular season heats up. If he continues to make plays like that, I think QB1 will look his way a little more often once the regular season begins.
Willis going to try to run it. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Texans 7, Saints 0. Harrison Butker set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones ones that typically end up in the end zone.
This is caught. It's Christian Watson. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 23 yards the pickup there. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 45-yard line. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Now they'll run the option to the short side left. He pitches it out. And he's brought down at the 19 after a gain of 19. First down in the red zone. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Saints, nothing.
Go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles, early in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they are able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a bout of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
There's the arm strength that we saw in college and during the scouting process. And really, it's not just the arm strength there, but the placement as well. To me, that was an excellent combination of arm talent and accuracy.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll give to Kamara here on the option. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough and run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what the offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone, space is at a premium for receivers to try and operate and shake themselves free. That one's incomplete.
Butker's kick here is good, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
Harrison Butker is set to kick off.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He's going to keep this again. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Well, that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop it.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
On third down, they're going to go with the option. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. A 3-yard loss. Fourth down now on his Jamie Gillen to punt this one away. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
52. Good, 52. Good check.
Second down, another shot for Jones. Brought down around the 16 or 17. Showing some tough running there. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a third and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now look, hey, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now third and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL.
Here we go.
And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. That's caught by Howard. Room here to run. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Houston. O.J. Howard, 83 yards. And the Texans have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead is now 17-3.
Texans 17, Saints 3. Harrison Butker is set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not have the balls go through goalposts.
And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They'll look to throw here on first down. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. The 20. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD.
Harrison Butker on
The way things have been going to this one, Charles, it was only a matter of time before this defense got involved and made a big play. And they do right there. Gosh, this lead is so large, CD, and we're only in the first half.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that's so amazing about it. You mentioned this large lead. How's this their first takeaway of the game? And what a spectacular one it was. Adding to the lead, showing the true dominance, and you're exactly right. We're still in the first half.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
And attempted a deep ball there, and they didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. That's into a crowd and intercepted. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
On the set.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Smash.
And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well. 3rd and 4, he did just enough, and I mean just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? You just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime in our first preseason matchup of the year as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Probably not likely to see many starters in the second half as we get back at it underway in this preseason opener. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
19-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Back to throw now on first down. He finds his man, complete. It's Owens. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's able to find Wallace. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the Texans.
2nd and 9 now. And he fires one incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Again, he'll drop to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe.
Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still a very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one. It might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go again to Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
10. Right.
They'll set up to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play, unable to connect in that attempt.
On second down, it's Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
Jones with a nice burst there on first down as he'll be taken down, but not before a gain of 7 yards.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now a handoff. Running left is Jones. They find some open field here. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
64 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
All right, I've got to be careful here. All right, he's on the plus side of 30. There may be a little gray in the beard, but that's not slowing down his speed as far as he's concerned.
What are you saying? I'm on the plus side of 30.
Well, if you're on the plus side of 30, you don't know what I'm on.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown.
Aaron Jones,
25 yards to the house as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call.
and they'll accept that penalty.
Harrison Butker set to kick off.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Open man left side is Wallace, complete. Just a gain of a couple there, and it'll be second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
He'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And that is incomplete.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break, contain, and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
On 2nd down, it's Wallace. Oh, he's got a little daylight. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
They'll keep it on the ground. Wallace. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
The tackle made at the 44-yard line. A 6-yard pickup.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Wallace. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
Good for another Saints. First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
They go play action here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports.
Saints 6.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. And the pressure gets to him again.
The quarterback taken down.
The Saints on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Back to throw here. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Texans scoop it. And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because Maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 106 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's going on.
First down, Houston.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
He finds his man, complete. It's Chandler.
And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That time the conversion comes courtesy of the RPO.
And know what it did? It moved the sticks. Nice pickup on 3rd down. Even better decision.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess? He didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up. But he certainly will have some explaining to do.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
He hasn't been sacked all game, and there's an example as to why. Evaded the pressure, got out of the pocket, but even with the extra time, it doesn't translate into a completion.
Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And certainly this, not the performance that they were hoping for to begin the exhibition season, but still plenty to watch for in this 4th quarter. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make him make something to miss in the open field.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Okay, ready? 60 Maverick, 60 Maverick.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. That's to his running back, complete.
And he is going to have the Saints first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw.
He'll fire it deep for Rager.
It's caught inside the 25. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is down to 24. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Texans take over first down 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
They lead big. Quite the kickoff, really, to this exhibition schedule as they start once more with a 1st and 10.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Willis now off of play action.
He's going to air one out. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
I'm ready.
Out of the pistol, the give to Jones. And some room to maneuver.
134 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they turn to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
A little bit of space there for the 1st down run as that's going to get him about 5 yards. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Saints force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
First week of the preseason, probably not the pass, the impression that the rookie wants to leave right there.
Yeah, no probably about it, because that's not what you want to do to try and impress your new coaching staff, try to impress your locker room, and most importantly, yourself. Probably spent all night last night saying, don't throw an interception early. Make sure you take care of the football. But now he's got it out of the way. Hopefully he can just settle in and move on.
And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to let it fly. And this is taken in at the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A big play there. 51 yards.
And the Saints are able to cut into that deficit.
Now the Saints offense will remain on the field and go for 2. They'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Sean Murphy Bunting.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and it happened in the NFL. The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Now it looks like he'll throw here. It's caught. It's Miller. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
Oh, the trip home so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd's going to be. They just used it as fuel, came in full confidence, believed in themselves, and got it done.